Hi y'all, it's Gretchen with Made on the Loop. Welcome to the Loop. I am crooked as can be. I don't know why. Anyway, happy Wednesday, y'all. I hope you've had a wonderful day. When you hop on, please say hi and let me know that you're watching. And if you're new, type in !new and you'll get a nice greeting from me. And then you can tell us where you're watching from too. It doesn't say I'm live yet. There we go. There we go. Maybe I can find myself. I have had a sticky little time the last few minutes. Hey Cheryl, how are you? 2 links featured. Hi Virginia, you're up late, Virginia. Let's see if I can get some comments over on my iPad. Nothing showing up yet. Hi Giselle and Criselda. Thank y'all for being here. We have a cute kit from Lisa with Brown-Eyed Girls Crafting tonight. If you go to her website, the link is featured in my description. Hey, Amanda and Dolores. It's a primitive type of craft, and I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it a little bit whimsical. And so what we're going to do is we're going to, let me pull this down a little bit. We're going to build all of this into a basket and add it onto the surface with a little watering can. So that's why I say I want to do it a little bit spring whimsical. Hey, Teresia. Hi, Bonnie. Who else? Hey, Amanda. No, I'm still not getting comments. Oh, my goodness. I wish they could get their act together. Hey, Tanya. Hi, Jeannie. Did you stay up late just for me? Oh, you're so sweet, Virginia. Thank you, Cheryl. So we are going to get started. I had a bit of trouble. You know, you've seen me have trouble with the stick fast. Well, stick fast is the best glue. Hey, Lisa, to use on these kits because it sticks fast. I couldn't tell you how many times I have spilled this little basket. Hey, Willie. I did have a good day today. I got to have lunch with my girlfriend, so that was always nice. Hey, Marlene, I am well. Anyway, my stick fast, I don't know, maybe I just didn't do it right, but I have always had a problem with it gluing itself shut. So I searched and found a YouTube video, and this lady had some nice tips. So I want to give you some tips about stick fast glue. First one is keep it in a bag. It keeps the air out of the stick fast. She also said it's best to keep it in a refrigerator. That's not possible for me. The refrigerator is downstairs. Hi, Faith and Mel. Thank you for being here. Now, I did have to cut mine. I did have to cut the spout. But what she suggested is when you're finished using the stick fast, cap it. And then pound it, she said on the table. I did it on my hand like this. And then I opened it back up. Better open back up. And she said, squeeze it and make sure only air is coming out of that spout. Now you can see on the side, you can see where the glue is. Mine's about this full. So I know there's no air. I'm squeezing the air, the air out. So no glue is in there. And I'm hoping I don't have to cut that again. It's very frustrating. And I don't like it on my fingers. And I got it all over my fingers, y'all. Oh, I'm not going to put it back. So we're going to build this little basket. It is several layers thick so that you can put flowers in the basket. And I love it. If you're interested, I did feature the link. And this time I got smart and I actually featured the link where it takes you straight to this craft on Lisa's website. And it should be featured down at the bottom behind the window pane. But I also put it in my description. So we're going to put these little spacers. I call them spacers. I don't know what you call them, Lisa, but I call them spacers because they're creating the space to stuff it with flowers. So we have 2 levels or 2 layers to do that with. And then we'll put the front of the basket on. You know, we'll put another layer on and then put the front of the basket on. Now, the example on Lisa's website, it's all rusted. I don't do rust good, y'all. I just don't do rust good. So that's one of the reasons why I'm going to do whimsical. So let me open this back up. And we're going to attach these pieces. Look, I got glue, y'all. I actually have glue. We're going to stick them on here. And hopefully I'm going to get it in the right place before it sticks its stuff. Move just a little bit more. Oh, it moved. And I stuck my fingers together. But I got it in the right place. Yay me. Now, next thing I gotta Google and go to YouTube for is finding out how to get this off of my fingers. The alcohol that I used did make it less sticky, but it did not completely take it off. So let's see. We'll get this next layer. I want to get this building this basket behind me because I want to make sure I do it right. Okay. And then the next layer, I don't know why that's in two pieces. Maybe Lisa can tell us. Hey, Kathy. But the next layer is all one piece, which is good for me. Because I got enough glue on me already. So do y'all use Stick Fast? Do y'all get it everywhere like I get it? Everywhere, especially on my fingers? Hey, Debbie Stebbins. How are you tonight? I know we just messaged each other a little while ago, but I hope you're having a good night. Oh, look, that got in the right place pretty good. Pretty quick. Almost on its own. So you can see it's almost a finger deep. Now I got some glue on the outside here. I'm gonna be careful of that. Now the next layer is a solid piece, and I love that I want to call it engraved, even though I know, hey Jackie Alvarez, how are you? I know that's not the right word. The laser burns that in there, but I don't know what you call that. But that is, so you know exactly where to put all these pieces that give it really a lot of detail. So let's get that piece on. I'm trying to use a little tiny bead of this glue, and some of it's a little bigger than I want. There we go. I probably could just dot it on there. Hi, Emma. Yeah, it's a flower basket. If I get it in the right place, I'll be real happy. Okay. So now you can see it's made that pocket. More glue on my finger. Fingernail polish or hand sanitizer? I got hand sanitizer up here somewhere. I used to have it right there. I must have moved it. I'll have to try that. Okay, so, but you can see it created that little pocket. Hey, Jennifer. And that's where we're going to stuff some flowers. But before we do that, we're going to put all of the finishing touches on here. All of the details. All of the details that makes it look like a basket. Boy, Lisa, I just keep getting Brown-Eyed Girls Crafting is watching. Hi, Ruthie. Hi, Loretta. Scored. Oh, is that the right word? Debbie always knows the right word. All right, so let's, yeah, we'll build it from the bottom. Let's get some glue on this bottom piece. Get it in the right spot. Come on. It seems like with this glue, as long as you're moving it, it's okay to move it. But once you stop moving it, it sticks. All right, the littlest one goes, hey, get out of that glue. The littlest one goes here. Talk about fumble fingers. I definitely have fumble fingers tonight. Okay, that's the second piece. This is the third piece. Each piece is different. You can look at the details. Not only is the size of it different, but the cutting at the top and at the bottom. How many pieces is there? The back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But I'm trying to get them all in the right place first. And the right, you know, the right side up. Like this needs to go this way. And this one needs to go that way. And then I can get them glued in place. Oh, you had a wonderful day, Giselle? That's good to hear. It's going to drive me crazy. All right, so we're going to put a couple of dots of glue in each place. Now, I'm going to paint this, but I'm gluing it to me. I want the sides to stay brown. Hopefully I can do that. Hopefully I can be careful enough to let those brown sides show. Maybe I won't get any drips, right? Maybe. Such a cute kit. Hi, Vicky. How are you? Okay, this one that goes on the bottom. And you see I'm not covering the entire surface with the glue either. Okay. The next one goes here. And stick around, I got a really added surprise that I am going to do to this basket. It's going to be cute. Well, not the basket, the craft. Okay, here we go. See, once you get all of the pieces lined up, it really goes pretty quick. And there is our basket. Who's first time watching? Aww. Hi, Emma. Welcome to the loop. My name is Gretchen, and I am glad you're here tonight. So, now in the sample, I'm going to close this up for right now, and I'm going to do what the lady taught me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and remember to do it every time. I want to make sure just air is coming out and no glue is bubbling out. In the example on Lisa's website that, you know, she puts there for inspiration. Of course, if you buy the kit, you do what you like. And I'm going to paint this basket yellow. I know that's crazy, but I want it yellow. I want it to be spring-like. In the example, it was rusted. I don't do so good with the rust. So I'm going to take some dandelion and I'm going to lighten it. It's a little bit too bright. A little bit too bright. So I'm going to put a couple of dots. Probably don't need much. I mean, I'm just going to do the front of the basket. And then I'm going to add some white acrylic to it. Get some of them chunkies away. Okay. And I'm tempted, I want to mix it up, lighten it up. Hey, Cindy, how are you today? I was going to call you, but I got home late from my lunch date with my friend, and I had to cook supper. And y'all, I have been trying my hardest. I think I told you about the smart switches. See, it's a little bit later. That my son-in-law had at their house in California. I cannot make these things work for anything. It's driving me crazy. I'm going to do it with a sponge. So I just get the top. You know, it reminds me of, you know, sometimes in my travels, when I was a kid, we, you know, always traveled by car. And my dad was from Pennsylvania. So we used to go to Pennsylvania every summer to see his family. And, you know, sometimes you go through the little rural areas and people have their lawns, their yards all decorated pretty. I always remember them being bright spring colors like that. What you think of my yellow basket? It's not yellow, it's yellow. Loretta always makes fun of me how I say yellow. Okay. And so there is the yellow basket. And you probably guessed I do have yellow flowers to go with it. Yellow basket. The watering can, I'm actually going to paint it Dutch aqua. Dutch aqua. Shake, shake, shake. Hey, Annette. And Lisa, I've been wanting to ask you, what kind of wood is this that you use in your laser? It's nice wood, y'all. It's real nice wood. I don't know what it is, but I like it. See me, when I do this, I end up getting the paint on the brown side, and I like to leave the browns showing. Thank you, Cheryl. Hi, Jody. How are you tonight? Get all these edges. I was waiting for Lucy to call. They must have had a busy day today because I didn't get to talk to her. But that's okay. I'm sure she's put a fingerprint in it. I'm sure she's sleeping by now. Okay. Dutch aqua. Isn't that pretty? Hi, Cruz. Hi, Tanya. I'm going to dry this one. And I did get a little bit yellow on the side over there. Dang it. It's all right because the moss and the flowers will cover it. They also, in the example, the watering can was also rusted as well. But like I said, I don't like doing rust. I just don't like doing rust, yo. Okay, so then I'm going to add, now this piece, what I do with it, this piece you do not get in the kit. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I had it on this table. I had a whole bunch of stuff. There it is. Right where it should have been. I just didn't look deep enough. This does not come in the kit, but you can get, you know, these in those little square boxes that have 9 sections. I do too, Cheryl. Hi, Crystal. So I'm going to add this flower. I think it's cute on there. And I'm going to paint it cameo pink. Cameo pink. Let me get a little tiny brush. And I'm just going to put a dot right in the center and spread it out. Where's all my little brushes? I just thought, now this one I am going to cover the sides the brown up on the sides from the laser. Mostly because I already did. Might need a little bit more paint. It's really soaking into this wood. Let me get another dot. Hey, Bonnie, how are you? Hi, Linda. I'm so glad y'all could join me tonight. For once, I said I wanted a dot, and I just got a dot, not a whole glob. Ooh, get in there. All right, let's get this all painted, and we'll open that stick pass up. If you just jumped on, I did have some interesting little tricks of how to keep stick fast glue open. It's not my ideas. I YouTubed it. But the lady suggested keeping it in the refrigerator, keeping it in a plastic bag so that the air can't get to it. And after you close it up, to tap it down like that, and then make sure that when you squeeze it, only air comes out, and that will keep that spout from getting clogged up. And I hope she's right. Like I said, not my ideas, but it made sense once I heard it. I couldn't think of it myself. One dot right in the center should be sufficient. And there we got a pink flower on the Dutch Aqua. Cameo pink on Dutch Aqua. I think is a good combination. See, only air. That works, y'all. 1,317 days. Wow, thank you. Hey, Glenda. I'm well, Bonnie. How are you? Hi, Delilah. And then, of course, you have to keep it upright. So we have a yellow basket that we put together, and we have a blue watering can with the pink flower, and this is the background that comes with it, and we are going to crackle. We're going to crackle it, y'all. I'm just going to crackle it. Let me just get this pink paint up because I don't want it on this surface. I have chosen burnt umber for the base, and then we will use glue and some white. I'm not going to use glue. I'm going to use that Folk Art Crackle Medium. That's what I'm going to use. All right, let's get this spread out. And this doesn't have to be a perfect coat. I am going to cover it up. So I'm not worried about getting full coverage. So what did y'all do today? Anything interesting? I had lunch with my friend. My husband went to the dentist. I had a better day than he did. Let's hold this still. I am not going to paint the back of this. I'm just going to leave it the way it comes. Now, let's dry it. Hey, Julie. Hi, Kathy. Who else said hello? Hiya, Tanya. How are you? Thank you, Cheryl. Hey, Geraldine. Get it fully dry. Oh, no. get that fully dry. That is burnt umber. And I am going to use this Folk Art Crackle medium. I've had good luck with it getting small cracks. Hi, Deborah. You just got home from ceramics? My mother used to take ceramics classes every Saturday when I was growing up. All right, we're just going to do it this way. It doesn't take much of this stuff. And so I don't want it to puddle. I want it to be smooth. I probably shouldn't have put it on there in a puddle if I didn't want it to puddle, right? And then we're going to, after this, we'll dry this layer too. And then we'll add some cottage white on the top. And watch the magic happen with the crackle. What do you prefer, crackle or chippy? What's your preference? I like them both, but I think I prefer crackle. It's just, and I think I prefer crackle because it's exciting to see what kind of cracks you're going to get. Now, didn't take very much of that. I probably have used this at least 10 times, and that's all I've used. Hi, Sheila Ann. Virginia likes crackle. I'm not getting any comments. You like them both, Cheryl? Not getting any comments on my iPad. So we'll dry this fully, and then we'll add that cottage white. Or should we add plaster? Maybe we'll do plaster. Hi, Geraldine and Jody and Deborah. If I said hi, it's because Facebook keeps telling me who's watching. So if I repeatedly said hi, forgive me. I'd rather tell you more than once than miss you. Now, the directions on this does say paint it, let it dry for an hour, put the crackle on, let it dry for an hour. We don't have time for that. So we just use the heating tool, and let's use plaster as our top coat. Waverly plaster. You'd rather crackle? Mel too, huh, Bonnie? You want to try it on a fireplace? Oh, how interesting. How interesting is that? I think I'm going to go across the grain this way, because that's the way the grain on the wood is. And I probably got it on the edge. Oh, I didn't. Let's get up here. See, that's the only thing is once the paint starts drying a little bit, then you get real brush marks. And then if you try to fix that, make sure you have a heavier coat of paint, like right there. I'm not going to go over that one. And the heavier coat of paint gives you, look at it, bigger cracks. No, I want little cracks. put as thin of a coat as I can and not get brush marks like right there. I'm not going to try to cover that. Because I'll end up messing it up. Like right there, I pulled it. I felt it pulling. Be still. Be still and be nice to me. I want a good crackle. See if my hand is wide enough to hold that. It is crackling already, y'all. Okay, let's put that up. Look, before I even put any heat on it, can you see the crackle? It's trying to crackle already. Right there, where the paint is thinner. Of course, that's what's going to crackle first. Dry, dry, dry. It makes pretty crackle. Hi, Sharon. I wish I had comments, y'all. I don't have any comments over here. Last comment I have is Jennifer Glover saying, Jennifer Glover Sharp saying hi. Oh, now they're coming. Debbie's doing chippy with wax. What'd you say? Packing tape? Cool. I never tried that. Look how good that crackles, y'all. And where you see bigger cracks, that's where my paint was thicker. That was where it was thicker. Let's get rid of that. Now, we are going to put the basket at the bottom, of course. We are going to, this is going to kind of hang off of it a little bit. Or maybe halfway. And the reason I want to do that, here's my surprise, y'all. Here's my surprise. I want to add fairy lights that make it look like, you've seen, they have them for your yard. I know I've seen them on Temu, where it looks like a watering can and the fairy lights make it look like the water is spilling out of the watering can. Well, I wanted to do that. And you can see my lights do work. And so I messaged Justin because he uses a lot of lights, y'all. And I was like, can I cut this? Will it still work if I cut this wire? Because I don't need this much of lights. It's way, way too long. And it's tangled now. I had it all nice. And he's like, oh, I don't know. I never did that before. And I was like, well, I want to try. I saw somebody do it. I don't know who. I thought it was him. I don't know who it was that I saw cut the lights and they still worked. Or maybe I just dreamed it. I don't know, y'all. But anyway, make a long story short while I untangle this mess that it got into. These fairy lights, this is like wire, real thin wire. You can cut them. Now, what you cut off will no longer work, but what's still attached to the battery pack still works, because I cut these yesterday. I cut this much of it off yesterday, trying it to see, and I'm going to cut some more off to show you. So, of course, we're going to put the battery pack on the back, and I want to make sure I get it. Don't glue down the side that opens. Here. Yes. It's got 2 button batteries. So I have to put the glue on the side with the screws. Help me remember that. And I'm going to put that on the back. And this has some protective something on there close to the battery pack. So I'm going to put the battery pack low so that that doesn't show. So you can see the battery pack's going to go low like that. And then I'm going to wind this up some so it lights up behind the watering can. Couldn't think of what it was. Hey, 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 lay down. Lay down for me. I got to get smaller than that so it'll stay behind the watering can. And I don't want all the lights in it. Maybe I should do it this way. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so this is the first light. And what I'm going to do is they still work if you hot glue it. So I am going to put that right in the hot glue. And I'm going to wind it up crazy so that the lights are not all in the same place, because there's quite a few inches in between each of the little tiny lights. And I'm smushing them down pretty good because I don't want it to be too thick. I mean, I know that it's going to raise the watering can up. But like I said, I want I want the lights to not all be in the same place. No comments. Your crackle cracks and lines. Probably because that's mine's in lines too. How you paint it on, how you paint the paint on makes a difference. Try to get this in here. But you see, there's probably like 3 inches of wire in between each light. And that's too much for what I need. You get down. I don't want you to show. Hey, Lady T, how are you? Hi, Sheila. I'm working with some lights here. Y'all, I think this is the first time I've ever worked with lights. Haven't been brave enough. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to cut them. All right. Let's get you a light. Get out from under there. Get you a light right about there. And you can see I'm really making a mess of this wire, but it won't show. Hey, Beth, how are you? It won't show. Now, I wish I could get a light up this spout, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I'm going to try. Lots of glue. Lots of people jumping on. Thank you for coming. Welcome to the loop. I am glad you were here with us. Look at that. I put the light right in the glue, and it's still working. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get a light. Yeah, I messed that up. This should have been coming down here to put some lights here. It wasn't time to go up the spout. Yeah, that was glue. Wow. It wasn't time to go up the spout yet. I'm glad I noticed that right now. All my phone's telling me is who's watching. All right, right there. We'll get that light there. Hi, Patty. Hi, Crystal. And now we can go up the spout. I didn't have a light at the bottom. Nope, turn. And now I want you there. That's where I just pulled it up from. I'll show you. I have a tangled little mess right there, but the lights are still working, and that's all that matters. Uh-oh. I said that, and the lights went out. Oh, no. My lights went out, y'all. Wonder if the batteries ran out. Oh, no. They back on. They came back on. That's good. All right. Let's get this here. That was weird that they went out and came right back on. Squish you in. What was that? Oh, she has one in her yard. They really are pretty. Now, it amazes me that I can bend this wire so much and it still works, but it does. All right, so I'm gonna get this last little bit here on the spout. All right, so let me show you. It doesn't show a lot, but you can kind of see the glow behind the watering can. And what I'm going to do, the light's over there, I'm going to glue this down. Wait a minute. I need you up here. No comments. All I'm getting is who's watching. All right. So the watering can is going to go like that so that I can, you didn't want to pull it that far. Pull this down and glue this. I want it kind of right, I really want it at the top. Let's see what I can do. Can I make you go this way? And cross over and be at the top over here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Because I want the battery pack easily accessible. And invisible. I don't want it to show. Well, I sure will be happy when the new glue tools arrive. Okay. I can see why you're right there. I don't want to see you. Get underneath there. So I'm going to have it hanging off like that so it looks like it's actually watering the flowers that I'm going to put on there. Let me get some glue. Hopefully that's enough. And hey, popped right back up. Y'all, I wish I had comments. Hi, Janet. Oh my goodness. Give me some comments, please, Facebook. Hi, Jody Phillips. How are you? See, the problem is the lights are kind of far apart. And I don't want to see so much wire. Okay. I probably should not have glued that down just yet. I'm going to twist this wire so it looks like one. Instead of a mess of wires. All right. Now I want you here. This is crazy. I wonder if the lights all, I don't want you right there, all have so much wire in between each little light. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I want you right there. I'm going to try to get one more light, and then I'm going to cut this off and see what I can do to, I know what I want. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to do, but I know what I want it to do. And it's not doing it. All right, twist you. And twist you together. Yo, this is called perseverance. I'm going to stick with this until I get it the way I like it. Come here. I might not have to cut any off. I might have cut enough off yesterday that it's good. All right, let's twist these. I got one wire I don't like. See if I can get it in there to twist it. Come on. Come on. There we go. So it's going to look like kind of like 3 strands flowing from the watering can. If I can get it all in the glue. Get in there. Where's my thing? Hi, Helen. Hey, Kimmery. How are you? I am fighting with some lights right now. I want it to look like the water. Well, I had it not pulled it and let it go. Dripping out of the little watering can. What was that, about a toothpick? Well, that's a very good idea. I didn't think of it. See, this light's on the bottom. You got to be on the top. Okay. So there's the lights. See, kind of spilling out. And we are going to put the basket here. Some of that's going to get covered up with some flowers. Let's just use some hot glue right now. If I can get enough of it out. I will be glad to not have to use this glue gun. Okay, so I kind of want that squish over a little bit. Okay, so it looks like they're getting watered. And then I have this bush that actually came from Walmart. They called this rosemary. Now this doesn't look anything like rosemary that I know of. And we are going to have to trim these a little bit. And I picked the ones, some of them had a little blue flower on it, see? And some of them had a little white flower. I picked the ones that had the white flower. And I may have to trim them. Get in there. Give me one more. Even if I got to pull the blue flower. Oh, here's a white flower. That's what I did earlier. I stole all of the ones that had white flowers. I stole them and left the ones with the blue flowers. Okay. So just fill it in with some greenery. And then I'm going to add some of this to add some white into it. Y'all know I like this one. I love these leaves. They crazy leaves, y'all. Let's do that. Add just a little bit of this in, just to fill it in a little bit. Hey, I thought I cut 3 of them. Didn't I cut 3 of them? I guess not. Get in there. Hey, there's the 3rd one. I knew I cut 3. Get in there. So add some white in the front. I may not even need moss, y'all. And I took out these daisies. I think these came from Hobby Lobby. I know these did. They came from Hobby Lobby. And I was just going to add a few daisies, even though I know these leaves didn't come from the daisies. I'm just going to add a little bit of daisies. I'm gluing them right onto the greenery. Right there. Right here. And see, that's going to help disguise the wires. Ooh, what are you? Hey, get on there. What you think? And then I have some ladybugs. I got 3 little ladybug stickers. Look at that glue string. Oh my goodness. I have 3 little ladybug stickers that I'm going to put on here too. Of course, I'm going to peel that paper off and add a dot of glue. That one flew away. Yikes. Turn over and give me all that glue back. My fingers are all glued up today, y'all. all glued up. This time, I think I'm gonna put the glue down and then the ladybug. Maybe I'll have better luck that way, except these stickers on here are pretty sticky. Probably didn't even need hot glue. That one's getting ready to crawl onto that flower. And I'm still not seeing comments. What you think? That's with the, let me do this. That's with the lights on. And that's with the lights off. Lights on, lights off. And I think hanging it should be okay to get to that switch. What you think? What you think so far? Oh, let's see if I can find some comments. Hi, Deb. Thank you. Thank you, Pam. So this is a kit from Brown-Eyed Girls Crafting. If you tap the window pane at the bottom of your screen to the left of the comments, the link should come up there as a featured link. And it's also in my description. And then I brought out a whole lot of ribbon as if I was going to make a bow. I don't think this needs a bow. You think it needs a bow? I don't think it needs a bow. I think I'm going to use this ribbon with a little gold edge. And I'm just going to put a hanger on it. I'm just going to put a hanger on it. Probably don't need that much. And so, if you want, you can go see the primitive version on Lisa's website. Might have cut this too short. And then you can come back and look at my whimsical version. Yeah, I think I might have cut this one too short. I got another piece, though. Uh-oh, get in there. Get in there, you. And I'll trim this off. Glenda likes the ladybugs. I do too. I think the ladybugs add to the whimsical nature of what I've done. I love that yellow basket with the daisies in it. What you think? No bow. I agree, Cheryl. No bow. Hi, Kefany. That's okay. I'm glad you're here. This is what we made tonight. It's a little kit from Brown-Eyed Girls Crafting. The link is featured, so if you want to go order one, make it easy for you. Make it easy for you. Hi, Pam. Hi, Linda. Hi, Kimmy. Somebody followed me 486 days. And so the version on Lisa's website is a vintage version, and I decided to go a little bit whimsical, a little more spring-like. I don't know. I can see the lights. Let me look in the hey, Tracy. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, I can see the lights. You can see the lights in the I mean, it's just like that, like it's the water being poured to water the flowers. It's, you know, not like a river. It's not like a river on there. Anyway, this is what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it. But I did want to give you the tips about the stick fast. Keep it in plastic bags so that the air can't get in there. If you can, store it in a refrigerator. And then when you're finished, tap it down so the glue goes down. take off the cap, squeeze it so that you know only air is coming out. I always have the hardest time doing this one. You could see my glue, I have this much glue, and if I squeeze it, only air, no glue is bubbling out the top, only air is coming out. And then of course, keep it upright. And the other tip is these fairy lights, you can cut them. If they're too long for your needs, you can cut them and they still work. I cut this off yesterday. Like I said at the beginning, I messaged Justin and said, can I cut these fairy lights? And he's like, oh, I never tried that. I don't know. And choking at the white elephant. Hey, hey. So I tried it. I said, what am I going to lose? I'm going to lose a set of lights. Because I knew I didn't, you know, I had this much too long. So that's like almost 1.5 foot extra than what I needed or what I thought I needed. So I just cut them. And the lights still work. The lights still work after I cut this off. Now this will never work. So I just throw that away. But the strand that's attached to the battery pack does still work. When you glue it on, remember, glue it so that, I glued it backwards, y'all. I told y'all I was going to do it backwards. Glue it with the screws down. Not like Gretchen did it. Because I glued it backwards. You can't get the cover off to change the batteries. I'll fix that. But glue the screws down. I always do that silliness, right? So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Go order you a kit. And if you do, please send me a picture of what you've done with it. I think this turned out super cute. So, that's all I have for you tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening. It's 9:30 already here, y'all. And tomorrow's Thursday. I'll probably see you on Friday. I love y'all. I thank you so much for the gift of your presence. Turn on reactions to express yourself with a hand gesture. Oh, you have to turn them on. Let me screenshot this. That's why they're not working anymore. Let me screenshot that so I know what to do. The hearts are not working unless you go to the control center and turn them back on. So, y'all have a good night. I'll see you on Friday. Bye, y'all.